Today we're talking to Northern City manager Ian Allinson at Truro Road, down at Truro, down in deepest, darkest Cornwall, where the Saints have gone down to a 3-2 defeat to Truro City. A remarkable game, Ian. We went in 1-0 down at half-time. Well, really, we should have been 2 or 3 up maybe, and the game put to bed.
Yeah, and we've had enough chances again today to be probably, I would say 2 or 3 up was probably not enough really. I think we could have been 4 or 5 up by half time. We've had enough opportunities. We failed to hit the target. Their keepers made a couple of good saves, and unfortunately we've gone in 1-0 down, and it's been the story of our probably last sort of 4 or 5 weeks.
But the second half, it was pretty much end to end for a neutral. Plenty there to enjoy and plenty to absorb. The match was decided in the end by a penalty. George Casey deemed to have pushed her forward. How did you see it?
Well, I think it's the same as we said before. I mean, the referee seemed the ball's in James Russell's hands at the time, but he's seen a push leading up to there. Until I probably see it with you, David, in later stages, you know, it's going to be hard to judge it. But he made the decision, and we have to live with that. But again, it's a very, very poor goal, given away at a time when I felt we were totally in charge of the game and looked like we were going to go on and win the game. But unfortunately, we've defended again today poorly. In terms of getting the equaliser just after half time, within 30 seconds we're 2-1 down again. We've got to chase the game. We got back to 2-2. Looked like we could go on and win the game, but you know, individual mistakes, silly mistakes, and totally poor from our performance in terms of the goals we give away. And yet overall our performance for me was as good as it's been a game for the last 5 or 6 weeks. But you can't keep conceding goals and chasing games like we're having to. I mean, the second goal we got today was out the top drawer. Our movement, our passing, and the way the three interacted was outstanding. But you can't keep doing that. We've had a couple in the first half where Jamie Curtin and Charlie Walker as a pair were outstanding at times today. But we've not hit the target. We've missed chances when we should be scoring. And as I say, if you can't keep clean sheets and you can't defend properly, then you're always going to struggle to win games of football.
Well, then chuck a statistic in at that. First 29 games of the season, 12 clean sheets. Now it's 13 successive games without a clean sheet. Only one game better than our worst run of last season.
Well, I think that's 28 goals conceded in 11 games, and as you said there, that isn't good enough. That's something that we've tried all week to do something about. Unfortunately, not been able to bring 1 or 2 of the players in we were looking to. So we've got to go and work hard again this week. We've got a game Tuesday night. Hopefully I can get somebody over the board in terms of signing by Tuesday. And you know, we've got to make sure that we start defending properly, but at the moment we're not defending well. Whether it's defending from the front, right the way through the midfield, and obviously in the back 4, you have to defend from the front in any game of football, but we've made too many mistakes again today and we've got punished for them.
We talk about defending from the front, but because of the number of chances we've missed, not just today, last Saturday and at Poole as well, it puts pressure on the defence.
Yeah, without a shadow of doubt. I mean, if you look, I think James Russell's probably had 1 or 2 saves. Their keeper's made 4 or 5 really good saves, and yet we've still probably had another 10, 12 corners again today. But as you say, if you can't defend, you put yourself under pressure by not taking the chances. But I felt the goals we conceded today were good enough, and we need to defend better than that if we're gonna win some games of football. We've said it before: is look how hard our forwards have to work to score their goals, and look at the goals we have to score. And as I said, the second goal was an outstanding goal in terms of creativity, in terms of movement, passing ability, and finish. And it obviously takes us to score worldly to get into the game, and yet we concede really poor goals against some of the teams.
Tom Bender got our first goal. I think it's his 5th of the season. You look at our midfield, not a lot of goals come from there this season. Of course, with Louis Theophanis on his pretty dry run, you are looking for goals from other areas of the pitch. And Charlie Walker's a very nice finish again. Yeah,
I think that was Charlie's 4th or 5th goal, is it? Since he's come in, and he's getting sharper every game. I mean, Tom's scored a lot of his goals from set pieces, so you know that's what we want him to do. The 2 midfield players are asked to do a holding job, so we're not looking for them to get in and score too many goals. But as you said, Theo's probably had 4 or 5 chances again today. He's hit 2 or 3 good shots. The keeper's made 1 or 2 good saves, and unfortunately, you know, one in the second half that's moved all over the place. The keeper's made a good save, but we've got in some really good positions today, and our end product was, and the decision making was very poor. We didn't pull out a cross, or we didn't put a shot in. We actually just dillied the ball into the goalkeeper's arms at times, and some of the areas we got in were very good. And if we'd have picked maybe a player out in the middle of the park, we might have scored another goal.
The conditions made it almost like a cup tie. Driving rain, that wind was pretty horrible. Do you think it had an effect on the actual game?
I think it does. In fact, is that we had the wind and advantage in the first half. They had it in the second half, but I didn't think it made much of a difference in terms of the game in being open. And we've obviously got to go and chase the game again. And I have this conversation with you for the last 5 or 6 weeks: is that we have to go and chase the game, chase the game, chase the game. And we've scored 2 goals away from home again, but unfortunately, we're not being good enough. I think 62 goals scored now, 48 against isn't a very good stat at the end of the day. The goals for, yes, is good. And we look like, again, we could have had 4 or 5 again today, but we've not taken the chances. And as I keep saying, we've put ourselves under massive pressure. The manner of the goals today were cheap, and the penalty for me sums up an absolutely awful goal. And we've been naive, and we've been stupid in what George has done. And at 2-2, where for me it only looked like one winner, we've ended up losing the game over it.
It's funny, you look back early in the season, we beat Truro down at Park 5-0. We've lost here 3-2 today when they're in relegation battle. It's a fair reflection of how our season's turned around. Without a shadow of doubt, at the moment, we look like a team that would be fighting relegation if we was in any other situation. I mean, at the end of the day, I can't ask the players to go and put a more of a shift in than what they've done. I mean, we've travelled correctly today. We've done everything right in terms of us preparing for this game properly, and the players have worked extremely hard. And I can't fault the work rate, I can't fault the commitment. It's just the naivety and the stupidity when it comes to defending set pieces, comes to defending 30 seconds after a goal, and comes to defending just at 2-2. Don't put your hands up, don't push somebody in the box, and you come away with at least a point. And at some stage we have to accept that a point's good enough for us. But I felt at that stage in the game there was only one team who was going to go and win it. We just put Sean Lucien on, we just put Sam Merson on, and it was an opportunity for us to go and win a game. And an act of stupidity has cost us at least a point. We now move on to Tuesday, Wealdstone at Clouds Park. When they come, it's always quite feisty, highly committed game. Can we expect any changes? Hopefully I can bring 1 or 2 defenders in, because I've got to do something from that side of it, because it wouldn't be right of me to go and do my job properly. Hopefully we'll see where we are with that, but we just got to see where we are tomorrow now and Monday, and make sure we've got a full committed squad in terms of Tuesday night, and we've just got to take our chance on Tuesday and see where we are. But for me, we have to improve defensively if we're going to win any more games this season. Not a lot of City supporters down here today, but for the ones that did come, a few words for them? Absolutely outstanding. The commitment to come all this way, and as you've said it there, on a horrible day, wet, windy. It's just a shame we couldn't have given them something more to cheer about at the end of the day. You can walk off there and say, yeah, the players have committed and put a good shift in, but to come away without anything is criminal at the end of the day. Criminal from the fact is that we've conceded all 4 goals today, and I'll be the first to protect some of these players, but at some stage they've got to start standing up for themselves. They've got to take responsibility themselves. Otherwise we're going to have to depart company. They're going to have to move on, and we've got to bring players in to replace them. And it's silly to say that with 11 games to go, but that's how critical it's got now. I think I've been very loyal to sort of a few of the players there, and at times loyalty has to go out the window, because we've got to think about performances, we've got to think about scoring goals, but we've also got to concede goals. And yes, we've got goals in that side, but we've got some awful, horrendous mistakes there that's costing us goal after goal after goal, week after week after week, and that's got to stop now, going forward. We don't give up on the playoffs yet. Mathematically it's still there, but I suppose one eye does start looking towards next season. Without a shadow of doubt, if we don't start improving over the next couple of weeks, because the players will be playing for their futures here, and at the moment, we've got to look at players. But I've got to put these players under immense pressure now, because we can't keep turning up, conceding goal after goal after goal like we've done again today, and then accept it. As I said to you there, I have to take responsibility for it. I'm the manager here, and players have to take responsibility in terms of their own performances. But we've got to try. We nearly got a defender in late on Friday, which fell through at the last minute. Hopefully we can do something by Tuesday. But it's not all about defending. We've got to defend from the front, as I've said before. But also we've got to stop giving these crazy goals away. We're giving away week in, week out. Lovely. Thanks so much, Ian. Have a good journey back. Apologies to everybody for this dreadful music. I hope you hadn't drowned it out. A bit of Springsteen wouldn't have gone amiss. So on Tuesday night then, Saints back at Clarence Park. The visitors are Wealdstone, National League South. Kick-off is at 7:45.